So I have been waiting to remember something about this specific brother of mine, one of the oldest ones. I feel like he's actually the first one. If I remember, I don't remember anyone being older than him. I remember seeing him for the first time when he was coming back from one of his missions, and he looked much older than father, like a very old man. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, who's this man with a beard, white beard and all? And he just got in and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him. I don't remember what happened. I don't think we even said anything to each other. No. Is it two, brother? This was the second time when he was coming back. Yeah, this was the second time. The first time when he came back, the first time he met me, this is the brother who said to, when he saw me the first time, he was like, "What is that?" And father gave him this look of, "Don't you go there." But then the second time when I experienced him, he doesn't say anything, but he's old. Like, I'm surprised. It's like I know it's him, but I'm like, why do you look so old? Like, what happened? And I always felt like sometimes I would be confused because of, I think that's the image that I had of him, one of the images I had of him as an old man or older man. I sometimes feel like he's pretty much the same age as father, but they're not. There's a vast difference in existence, timeline kind of a thing. But I was waiting for a confirmation, not a confirmation, for my program to remember the name that he said he was. So this is how I find out who he is. I had been like talking to him all this time at home. He's one of the people that I used to bother. I felt like he had like a very big mission, and I always wanted to hear about it, right? I always wanted to hear about what he's been up to. And he always used to, at first he was like the same way he used to like not want to kind of like talk so much, even to father, about his mission. But then when it came me, I asked him, so what is it that you do? And he looked at me and he said something to me. I don't remember what he said to me. So he doesn't know how to relate to me because I'm just in his face, right? And then I'm like, so what is your mission? Like, I'm basically asking him all kinds of questions. He's answering, but I don't even understand what he's saying because I can't even imagine the stuff that he's talking about. But I hear him, and then eventually, I think I had to go, and then I leave him with that little bit of information that he gave me. My sister comes. My sister was watching this interaction between me and him. That is, Elena was watching me and him having this conversation. Elena goes to him and is like, "That's destiny for you. You must be prepared. Whenever you come home, you must have something for her. She will want to know everything about your mission. So you just best prepare yourself to have something to tell her because she wants to know about everybody else's mission." So the next time when he comes back from his mission, I see him and I go and greet him and I'm like, "So what was happening? Where did you go this time? What was your mission, you know?" Then he starts talking, right? And then I'm asking him a question and he answers again. And then I ask him another question and then he answers. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I leave him, right? So I think he kind of like realized that I just want to know a little bit of what it is that it does. The third time, when he comes back, he doesn't stay away too long, but when he comes back, it's very different. He comes in, and I remember him this time, he was a little bit more open. So I asked him specifically about the thing that he told me about last time. He said something about something, and I said, so, did you manage to sort out the issue you had or something like that? He kind of like was surprised, like, I actually am kind of like interested in that. Like, he said it as if like he was trying to kind of like say, you won't understand it, but I'll tell you anyway. It's not like you can do anything about it. But then the thing is, when he's talking to me this time, Father was just around us. And Father kind of like paused to hear if he's going to answer me. Right? And he decides to be like, no, I didn't get to solve the problem. And this is the same problem that him and Father kind of like don't. Father wants to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk about it, kind of a problem. So it's almost as if like Father knows about the problem. He doesn't want to discuss it with Father. That is, he wants to be the one who solves it. He says to Father, he knows how to solve it. He'll solve it. And Father's like, last time Father said to him, you can, do you want to talk about it? And he says, no, I don't want to talk about it. Father says, okay, fine. But when you decide to talk about it, you know where to find me. It's like, of course, I'll come to you if it ever gets to the point where I need that assistance. Then Father walked away. But then this time, Father's like surprised that this one said something about that to me. He's wondering how you don't want to talk to me about it, but you're going to talk to Destiny about it in such a way, but not in a negative way. He's just surprised that my brother opened up to someone about the issues that he's having. So, anyway, he tells me something more about it. And I'm like, okay, but then why don't you just do 1, 2, 3? I don't remember what it was. And he looks at me and he's like, that's a interesting way to look at it, right? It's like, yeah, but I mean, what else, right? And I remember I left him then. Elena comes back and she's like, Elena was watching us talk as well. She comes to him and it's like, yeah, that's Destiny for you. It's good to talk to her sometimes. She has a different take on how she sees things. She's almost as if like she's saying, I don't know what it is about her. Maybe it's because of her program or her youngness, the fact that she's so young. She doesn't complicate life in that way. She still sees things simply that way. And she says to him, everybody talks to her about things here, and they've kind of realized that she sort of like has a very interesting way of simplifying how things should be viewed, right? So my brother says, okay, and then he goes away again. He comes back again, not too long. And when he comes back, I ask him, so what happened? And he's like, I actually took your not advice, but your suggestion kind of a thing. And I was like, so? And he's like, it worked, But now I have this problem. And he goes on to tell me, now this conversations between me and him are getting a little bit more not too long, but much more detailed, right? So we talk. We don't talk for too long. I don't bother them so long. But it's like I spend like, if I spend 2 minutes with him, now I spend like 5 minutes, or the next time I spend like, not a long time, but that not long time, that short period of time that I spend with them, whenever they're sharing their missions with me, what they're doing in their missions, what the issues they have in their missions, it's enough for me. Like I feel like I don't even have like that attention span to sit there and listen too long to it. It's like even when they tell me the most exciting thing, I'll be like, I need to go off and do something else. But then I'm talking to this person every day, every now and then, not every day, but every now and then when he comes home, he already is like, Destiny, come. You know what happened? Like, he's the one who's telling me now, who's calling me, and he's telling me the stories, and he's telling me what's happening, and he's becoming more and more livelier. Like, he used to have this heaviness about himself whenever he came home, but this time he's starting to kind of like brighten up, and I start seeing how young he looks. He doesn't look as old as father or older than father. He's getting to look younger and younger, like himself now. And he doesn't have that heaviness on his shoulders anymore. I think he even said something like, I managed to solve that problem. And I think he did say something about me showing him some sort of a perspective that he kind of like wasn't thinking about. Father smiled, right? But then now, one day, he is looking far much younger even now. And he's rushing off to somewhere. And as he's rushing off to somewhere, Elena is coming after him, running as well, calling him, right? And then he says to him, he calls him, and I'm also there. I don't know where I was going, but I see him pass, and then Elena's coming behind him, running as well. And he's like, Ra, you know? I was like, Ra, right? And then she calls him again. It's like, Ra, wait. And I was like, Ra, wait. So I'm like, is that who he's called? Ra, wait, or is his name Ra, right? So I follow them. And I get to them. I'm like, what is your name again? And then he shakes his head like, oh shit, we've been talking all this time and you don't know my name. But he doesn't say that. He just looks at me like, how can you not know my name? And Elena says something like, Father doesn't want us to tell her our names. She has to learn from her mission. And then I'm like disappointed. But then Ra looks at me and be like, Ra. I said, what? It's like Ra. I was like, your name is Ra? And he's like, yeah, my name is Ra. And then I think it was actually Elena was surprised, but then Elena says his name is actually Amun Ra. And I was like, Amun Ra. But then he says to me, but you can call me just Ra. And I was like, Ra, like I'm playing with the words, the name in my I'm just keep saying Ra, and because I asked him, it's like, just Ra? And he's like, yeah, just Ra, but you can call me, Elena says, no, actually his name is Amun Ra. And Amun Ra. But then he says to me, no, you can just call me Ra. They all call me Ra. I was like, okay. That's how I got to know his name. And all this time, I've been seeing on YouTube feeds, videos of, there is this one movie that I like about him. And I remember feeling like, when I was watching that movie, I remember feeling like, why do I feel like I know this person? Like, I know about this person. What do I feel like I understand about this person? You know? Oh, he has two eyes, by the way. Yeah, I think he does have two eyes. I don't know about the story. There's a story of him not having one eye, of having one eye. Something. Well, the one I know has two eyes, perhaps. But in the movie as well, I think he gets his eyes, one of his eye back. But anyway, another thing they said. This is Elena saying something like, he's actually two people, Amun and Ra. And I'm like, what? It's like, don't worry, you learn about it when you get to Earth. And I'm like, mm. It was kind of weird hearing Elena or someone else saying that to me. And I couldn't understand, like, how it could be two people. And I'm getting that is actually kind of like a burdensome thing for him. Yeah, something like that. I feel like there's a reason why he was like, no, you can just call me Ra. Hmm. I don't remember the story per se about Amun Ra, to be honest. It was just, I was looking at it from the movie, from perspective of just enjoying the movie, not necessarily from learning. And I haven't really went into that kind of like research learning type of a thing where I get to understand exactly who my brother is. But I'm getting that there is something, some heaviness about the Amun part. Mm. One of the things that I noticed with him is that he used to go. Hmm, I feel like I'm gonna remember something with him. He used to go. He used to have like when he was rushing out. He was rushing out for a reason. I feel like he's rushing out for his mission. This is why I see him every day, but not too long, and he goes there somewhere again, and then he comes back. Something about day and night. Huh. What do I remember about Ra? Something about him. Is it the sun god? Oh yeah. They said he's the sun god. I'm trying to remember something. There's a time when I was asking him too many questions and he like, I gotta go. I have to go. I'll come back and talk to you. And I'm like, wait. And then it's Elena actually, that same day I think. Elena says no, he has to go. He has to go before the sun sets on earth or something like that. And I was like, what do you mean? Hmm. The funny thing is where he was leaving. When he was leaving, it was still bright, right? It's bright. And I don't understand the sun setting thing, right? Sun sets on earth. Before the sun sets on earth. Something like that. I'm not sure if I'm understanding this concept about Ra. But I do remember my brother having to leave like, hastily so every now and then, every day. Like, I would see him. He was one of the people who used to be able to be frequenting at home. Him, I would see once in a while. Like, every now and then I would see him. Maybe sometimes he didn't come to the house, but I would see him frequently. The ones that I only saw, okay, I didn't see them. I didn't only see them there. Who would come in once in a while is Vishnu and Shiva. Actually, Shiva is kind of like away. Vishnu hangs around the house sometimes. But there is Ra, Amun Ra. I don't understand the concept of being two people. I really don't get it, Father. Father Spirit, can you please explain to me what is this thing about Ra being two people? Why do I get a feeling of a twin? I keep getting a feeling of a twin. I know that they are twins at home. I know that Lucifer has a twin. And his twin is actually a woman, a female. And people think it's a male. His twin is actually a female. That is, it's a sister, it's my sister. But I always felt like there were other twins in the set. I know of the other twins as well who are much younger. I don't know if they're twins or they are closely related. I'm not closely birthed. These are I feel like they're the last before me. Number 12, number 11 and number 12. Right? And then there's number 13. Number 11 and number 12. And then there's probably number 10. Anyway, going back to Ra, I don't understand. I feel like it's a twin situation. But how does it get to be two people, Father? How does he get to be two people? The one thing I remember about my brother is that when he had to go, right, there's a time when I'm like, going like, wait, and then he kind of like sort of like disappears. Like he's reaching out, but then it's something as if like he's being pulled by something. Okay, Father. Okay, there's something up again. Father, what did you do this time? Father says to me, Father talks to me about Ra, at some stage. About a burden that Ra carries, and that father can like feel him, feel that burden of that Ra carries every day. Oh my goodness, Father, you're gonna have to help me remember this song. It feels like it was something that Father was supposed to do. I don't know how, but then Ra took it on. And I feel like it's almost as if like it's something that a father, Ra, kind of like had to take on quickly in order to avoid a disaster of some kind. But this is the part that Father was supposed to take up. And I feel like that's what's causing the tension between him and Father sometimes. I feel like it's the reason why he cannot. They do talk, my brother and Father. Like I said, they look like friends. They talk like friends. They look like you can't tell who's the son and who's the father. You know, they always like at each other whenever they need to be at each other. But they usually like talk like friends. Father did show me something that needed to happen. And I feel like I'm too tired to go through it. You know, whenever I know I'm going to remember it. I shouldn't push it. There's something that Father showed me what happened to Ra. That he ended up carrying. I don't feel like, I don't understand. I don't know if the Amun part of it is. Yeah, I feel like the Amun portion is part of it. Oh, so it's as if like he had to take on Amun in the meantime. Something was happening, and Ra had to respond quickly and take on Amun. But it was supposed to have been Father. So now Ra is kind of like stuck with Amun. I feel like it was an accident of some kind. I don't know if it's an accident or... No, there was something wrong with this Amun person, I think. I feel like he was kind of like a comic. Oh, I feel like he was comic. He became a comic program, and he was about to do something like a disaster. That was going to cause a disaster. And in order for Ra to stop him, I get that he sort of like how he took him on to be part of himself in a way. But I also feel like Ra, this is a very interesting long story as well, and I'm gonna need my sharpness to remember it. But if what I can remember from, if I don't go through it now, I might just use it. Ra could see that Amun was coming, and he said something to father about Amun, and it feels like these two guys were competing, Amun and Ra. But then Ra saw something and told father that, you know what, you need to deal with Amun quickly. Something was as if like power was going through to his head. To be honest, it sounds similar to the issue with Uncle Oman. Power was oh goodness, I remember. But this is where father was showing me my brothers and my two brothers. I feel like there are two brothers, Amun and Ra, on the sacred timeline. But this sacred timeline, it's kind of like our programs, our kind of God's children sacred timeline. It's not like the one that I see in front of father's house. This is a different one. It's not even sitting at this. It's very small. It's not as big as the other one, which is an interface to earth. This one, it's like you can sit on. It's just the one on heaven. I feel like they don't drive on a cart. They actually walk or run. They were going through something. Amun had an issue with some sort of a power issue where I feel like he was going mad even because of that issue. Ra said something to father about it, kept saying something to father about it. And father said, okay, I think father kind of like took time to do or handle the Amun issue. But at the time, these two, I feel like the two brothers had I'm gonna say it, but it's almost like they used to compete so much with each other. Yeah, I got more power, I got more this, I got more. One had maybe power, a lot of power, one had. It's like they were always competing with each other. It's like they were the same, but there was a slight difference between the two of them. And that slight difference was what made them kind of compete with each other. In a sense of so my brother, I had paused a little. These two brothers, they had that was the issue. So one was fragmentation and another one was defragmentation in a way. And were they even fragmentation, defragmentation, further? Why is it that we are all defragmentation and fragmentation? I don't understand. Why is he the sun and the other one? What was the other one? The moon or something? Oh. No. But it's almost as if like I'm getting that it's like similar to fragmentation and defragmentation. This is why they were competing with each other. It's almost like Vishnu and Shiva, right? But this is the earliest version of Vishnu and Shiva. Ra is older. Okay. Ra is older. Huh? Is Ra older, Father? No. Huh? Yes, he's older. But because if he even looks older, he feels older, like older than all of us. He's the earliest version of Shiva and Vishnu, but not exactly fragmentation, but I feel like they sort of like served a similar kind of purpose. Not exactly the same, but kind of like a night and day kind of an issue where not issue, kind of a thing where fragmentation and defragmentation can be seen as the same night and day, because fragmentation can be seen as a night, yeah, as a night, and defragmentation could be seen as a day. So what they were doing is they are similar in concept. One, it's almost like night and day are the same. One is giving light, the other one is taking light away. And they used to kind of like compete with each other for who is the best, or who is the strongest, or who is the most important kind of a thing. And when they are running on the sacred timeline track, they used to kind of like tease each other and trip each other in that way, in a gamey way. But Ra sort of like notices something changing within Amun, as in like Ra was playing, but Amun was taking this thing seriously. And when they took it too seriously, Ra was kind of concerned. He kind of like noticed something in his brother, that this is something off with this person. And I feel like when he told Father about it, Father said to him, didn't take it that seriously, in the sense of there could be something wrong with Amun. He thought, no, Ra doesn't want to be challenged or take up on the challenge of the race in a way on the sacred timeline track. But Amun kept doing kind of sneaky shit and not playing fair, right? And Father was kind of like, I feel like Father was taking it too lightly. But as time goes on the sacred timeline track, Father started noticing that Amun was really behaving very comically. But by the time Father wanted to take him off to work on him, Amun was just too far. He had been gone too far, so he felt like it's a similar situation with Uncle Oman, where he's gone too far, and now to stop him, it's like he's already used to being that way, and he refuses to come in and get updated or something like that. So this is where I guess he's gonna try to do something to prove a point, and Ra would have to stop him, and the only way for Ra to stop him, it's almost as if like Ra had to, he couldn't kill him, but he had to like absorb him. I feel like his burden is like he fights him every day. He has to fight Amun within him every day. Every time, all the time, every time. This is his burden. And I think Father needs to find a way to separate Amun from Ra and get a chance to work on him. But there's something that what happened was when Ra had to stop him from doing some sort of a disaster. And I feel like it's something that has to do with Earth. When he stopped him in that way, they kind of like fused with each other in that way. But now he's kind of like this Amun part of him pulls him. You know, like it's almost like the comicness is within Ra as well through Amun, and he has to battle that kind of comic side of him every time. And this is why Father says, I feel that burden within him. It's also like he feels this tug of war between Ra and Amun. I do believe he has a way of separating them, or he's going to find a way of separating them, or found a way of separating them. I'm not sure how he's going to do that, but I don't know, something about this upgrade as well is going to help them separate each other. It's going to help Amun separate from Ra, separate from Amun. This upgrades that's needed. I'm getting that when we upgrade to 4D, this is where Ra and Amun are gonna get. Ra is gonna get his upgrade then. It's like we're all going to upgrade, right? But Ra, who does come to Earth, and other programs who are going to be on Earth, or who can come to Earth, or who will need to come to Earth for their upgrades, Ra is also going to receive that upgrade where Amun is separated from him. So the issue was that Ra thought it was going to be a temporary thing when he absorbs his brother like that. However, the issue became a bigger issue when Uncle Omen hid Earth somewhere far where Father couldn't find it. So it meant that Ra would stay in that situation of having someone else within him as long as the whole world has been waiting to be found. So now that the world has been found, that is, Earth has been found, Ra as well gets an opportunity to get upgraded and not to be having in the upgrade. He will be split from Amun. I feel like this is what they're saying when they're saying the upgrade. Fourth, it's almost like To be honest, it's not just Ra. There's a lot of programs in the spiritual world who were eager to come here and reincarnate and run their upgrades, right? But because of the world was, or earth was stolen, not stolen, but hidden somewhere, it meant that everybody else is also stuck in their old programs, stuck with their issues in the programs. And some of these issues, I feel like the way they've been stuck with them, they're getting worse and worse and worse. Just like the environment of the spiritual world, where it also has to wait for the upgrade to 6D, for instance, in order for the spiritual world to also get the kind of upgrades that Father had planned for the spiritual world itself. So it's not just the spiritual world, there's a lot of other beings who need to do the 4D with us. I feel like Ra is one of those people, but there's also other old ancient programs which needs to also, who some of them are already in line for reincarnation, but they needed to come here at some stage and upgrade themselves. So when we move, all of us move to the 4D, some of these programs like Ra will also get an opportunity to be upgraded to a different version where him and Amun are no longer fused together like that. I think that's what I had to defragment for the system, because I feel like Ra and Amun belong to, it's like Vishnu and Shiva also work here. Oh. Vishnu and Shiva feel like they also do some other missions, but it's almost as if like Ra is stuck to this world because of that issue. Because when he came back sometime, I felt like he was here. I felt like he came from here. Where else Vishnu and Shiva didn't seem like they came from here sometimes. Like whenever they come back from their mission, it didn't feel like they came back from Earth. But Ra feels like he's always on Earth, and there's something that he's fighting or working on that is on Earth itself, that is essentially giving him, was giving him kind of like a bit of a sleepless nights kind of a situation. Is there anything else, Father, that I'm forgetting? I feel like I want to do this again when I'm not too tired and sleepy, so that I can go deeper into it. Hopefully I'll get another video about him, some guidance about them. But I used to get this record, I don't remember what is that movie. And the clip that I played as well wasn't that long. Okay. Is there anything else I'm forgetting, Spirit? I feel like we should do this again some other time, perhaps tomorrow. But I wanted to just get to this point. I still need to defragment again what was wrong with Amun. But I feel like it was something to do with overpower or some kind, or being power running way too high for his program. That is overloaded with, what do you call it? Powers going to his head or something like that. So we'll see. Father, Spirit team, thank you. We'll do this again some other time too. Thank you.